Well, welcome back to another episode of the Chamber Podcast. My name is Rob Johnson. I want to take you back 100 episodes ago to November 19th, 2021, where my guest today first appeared. Crazy that it was exactly 100 episodes ago, episode 21. This is 121. Joining me in studio is Mary Beth Potrykus. Welcome.
Thank you, Rob.
What are the odds?
I know. Is it ominous?
I hope not. Hopefully it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good reoccurring thing. Every 100 episodes, you stop by, check in, tell us how things are going. So, okay. Mama Bear Productions, still operating, still running.
Yes.
3 years later, almost.
Yes.
How have things been going?
Great. You know, meeting new people all the time. Love hearing their stories, and being able to help them is just such a blessing. It, just giving them options, you know, that to help them thrive in life instead of just surviving. Yeah.
Well, for the listeners that may not have listened to the entire catalog, and I can certainly understand that, I'm a lot to listen to sometimes. Let's give them just a brief overview of what Mama Bear Productions is, how you help people, how you serve.
Okay. Well, I do partner with Shaklee, which is a 67-year-old health and wellness company, and I was introduced to them by my friend, Sherry, and you know, I was at a really bad time in my life because I put my trust in another company, and the products really hurt my health. So Shaklee helped build my health again, you know, with the products. And then when I was laid off from my job, I decided, hey, I want to help others so that they don't encounter what I encountered and experienced. So in addition to recommending and selling the products, I also offer consults and healthy seminars. And you know, it's about educating. It's, you know, that's part of the process. I think all of us are still that 2-year-old that wants to know, why should we do anything, right? So I like to educate people and explain, consider this, and this may help. And so that's pretty much it.
So before you transitioned to Shaklee, you mentioned you were with another company. The products you were using was hurting your health. What were the differences like before and after, and how quickly did you notice a difference?
You know, it's nothing is immediate. You know,
Sure.
It takes really a full 4 months for something to really get into your system and have your blood completely build new healthy cells. So, but for me, within a week, I was feeling a difference. I started off with 3 products. You know, it was a protein powder, a multivitamin, and a B complex, and I could just feel that it was helping to replenish nourishment into my body that had been drained from the other products because they were harsh stimulants. So in about 30 days, it's, you know, other people were noticing that there was a difference. I think they liked being around me again because I wasn't a good person there for a while. And, but yeah, I would say a few months, you know, that really did its complete job, if you will.
Okay. So in today, what is a typical client or a typical potential client look like for you? How do you help them? What does that process look like?
Well, you know, I hear this a lot. I've tried everything. Well, have you ever heard of Shaklee? No, I haven't. Okay. Well, didn't try everything. But, you know, it goes through an educational process. And Shaklee has a personal health assessment that they can go through. It's to give them an idea of what supplements are right for them, you know, and then we go over it and we can customize it to whatever they would like to do. Some people just go with that program. Some say, well, I'd like to start out with something else. So it's, you know, interviewing them, if you will, finding out what their needs are, what they're looking to accomplish, and, you know, what is possible to incorporate into their lifestyle, because I want to make it simple for them, because they'll stick with a program if it's simple for them.
Yeah. When you're talking to people about the company and how you work within it, do people ever give you objections like, well, that's a multi-level marketing company? And like, how do you combat those objections, or what do you tell them to kind of reassure them?
Well, I don't hear, oh, that's a multi-level marketing company. I'll hear,
Oh, really?
oh, it's a pyramid.
Oh, sure. It's a pyramid scheme. Right. Sure.
And I'll say, okay, well, come back to them. Well, what do you think a pyramid is? And then they give me their answer. And I'll say, okay, well, let me explain to you. Multi-level marketing is where if I sponsor a person into the company, there's no limits. There are no limits as to what rank they can get to, how much money they want to make, right? They're still in my group. I will still make a percentage off their volume, but I encourage them. I want them to be successful. I want them to go for it. Corporations are pyramids, right? The guy in the mailroom is not going to make as much as the president of the company unless he gets to that position. So that's what a pyramid is. It's not bad. That's just the way it's run. But that's not a multi-level marketing company.
Yeah. Have you turned any doubters into believers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is that experience like? And do they come back and they're like, hey, I'm sorry?
No, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need that. It's always a part of education to let them know what the company is really about. And Shaklee, you know, we set the standard for a lot of things. They're really the leader in the industry. In fact, you know, the Direct Sales Association has placed them as number 1 in the U.S. So they're very ethical, and that was important to me because I was let down by the previous company.
Yeah, it sounds like you had some bad health issues as a result as well. So how long has Mama Bear Productions been in existence?
Well, in 2004 is when my friend and I hired a business coach, and we wanted to set ourselves apart from the other people in Shaklee. You know, so she says, well, think of things you like to do. And so my friends said, well, Mary Beth, you're the only bear hunter that's a woman that we know. So it has to be something related to that. So that's why I became Mama Bear Productions. And then my daughter, who you know, Hannah,
Yep.
She was only 7 at the time. And she says, Mom, it's the same initials as your name. I'm like, okay, we got to keep it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's very, very insightful too for a 7-year-old to link those things together. Makes sense. Hannah's brilliant, so it makes complete sense.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you.
Absolutely. So, what has it been like? How has it evolved? How has it changed? Have you had any times where you're like, I don't know if this is for me anymore, or what's that typical business roller coaster like for you?
I think every business owner goes through that. And yes, I have. And then something happens, you know, and it's like, no, you've gotten this far and just keep going. There's more people that I can help. And, you know, things have changed. Well, you know, what happened in 2020. And for me, it didn't stop because I can work out of my home.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, with the internet and all of the places you can meet online. And actually, March of 2020, up to that point, was my best month in my business because people were looking for ways to be healthy, to stay healthy.
Yeah. Well, I imagine, too, when people are, you know, inside and in front of their computers have more time to learn, more time to buy things, more time to, you know, dive into a new company or start something new. I imagine that's helpful for a business like that.
Sure. Yep.
So looking forward, what are some of the goals that you have in your business from an awareness perspective? What do you want people to know more about? And then what do you hope continues to happen within the company?
Well, in referring to what happened 4 years ago, I think a lot of people said, wow, this is great. I can work from home. I don't have to commute. I don't have to put on a dress or a suit. And so to be able to work out of your home, there's still the human interaction, of course, you know, like I'm a member of the chamber and networking groups and such.
Yeah.
But it's nice not having to deal with that commute, especially when there's so much construction going on. So I'd like people to just take a look, maybe consider what would it be like if you're a working mom right now and you say, you know what, I miss being with my kids. Like I'm on the road for 2 hours to go to and from work and they're in daycare. And I just would really like to be at home with them and raise my kids. And so working moms really speak to me now. And I think it's because with Hannah being pregnant and due next month, her schedule's more flexible than a lot of people. But, that it resonated back to when I had to go to work, when she and her older brother were kids.
Yeah.
And so I want to introduce it to people, just have them take a look, see if it's a fit for them. And maybe there's a way to gradually get away from the 9-to-5 job per se into working from home and working with people who are like them.
Yeah, absolutely. As you've done this for some time now, what have you found are the most popular ways to introduce, your company and products to new people? Or how do people reach out to you right now if they're looking for, if they want to know more about getting into the business side of it or learning more about the products that you sell?
Well, social media is the best way to reach out to people, but then getting to know them, of course, is much better. But yeah, that's the best way to contact me, unless, whoever's listening to this has my number, then they can call me. But yeah, I have my website. I'm active in social media, and people can take a look there. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn.
Very good. How long have you been involved with the chamber?
A little over 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
And obviously we have a changing of the guard coming soon, which is going to be a sad day for me. And if listeners aren't aware, our chamber president, Pam McConney, announced her retirement. It's going to be happening. There's going to be a transitionary period happening between the summer to the fall. And then former Brighton high school principal Johnson's going to be taking over, and he'll be the chamber president moving forward. So I've met and had several conversations with him, looking forward to seeing how he puts his mark on the chamber, but certainly going to be a sad time. I'm sure you've known Pam, probably longer than the 18 years. So,
well, I met her when I first joined the chamber, and I laugh because I've been with the chamber longer than the staff has, with the exception of Pam.
Sure.
I'm excited for her, though. I mean, well-deserved, right?
Absolutely.
She's really built this up. In fact, the Greater Brighton Area Chamber is one of the largest chambers in the state.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know how much effort Pam put in during the pandemic and coming to the office, making sure the doors are open, being an information liaison to businesses. And that was one of the main reasons I came to Brighton was because of Pam and her efforts in the chamber. It just all aligned and made sense. So
Nice. Yeah, they have several unique benefits.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, expansion, they're constantly, bringing in other chambers under their umbrella and expanding their reach to be now one of the, the top 10% chambers in the state.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic. So Mary Beth, anything else you'd like to tell the listeners before we wrap up today?
I don't know. I just, keep learning. I think we should never stop learning. Always be intrigued, be inspired by other people too. Like what you just said. I mean, what you've done with Speakeasy Podcast is inspirational. It's encouraging, and there's always a smiling face when you walk in here. And obviously, they love working for you and with you, so that's always good. But and for business owners, if they're not a member of a chamber, they should join. It's a great way to be a part of the community. I've gained so many friendships through the chamber, as well as the business relationships. I don't know if my son will listen to this, but I actually introduced a member of the chamber who he's dating now. So you just never know.
There you go. Business relationships, other relationships. The whole thing.
You just never know. God places people in our lives for a reason.
Absolutely.
And, just a big believer of that.
Fantastic. Well, Mary Beth, thank you so much for your time. It's excellent to have you on. Episode 221 is already booked. That is now your slot. So
Okay.
We'll have to keep that going.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, Rob.
All right. Very good. All right, everyone. That's going to wrap up this week's edition of the Chamber Podcast. You can find all of Mary Beth's information in the show notes, and we will catch you with another episode next week. Take care.